it's honestly amazing to watch. It really is amazing to watch. Have y'all been following this at all? It's been a big cultural story the last couple weeks.
I've been following it. It's like a slow motion train wreck.
Yes.
I mean, that's the entirety of the WNBA at this point.
100%. And guess what? It's gotten even worse because yesterday they said sources close to the league said that Enes Kanter Freedom and fellow former NBA player Royce White are not eligible to play in the WNBA after they officially went in and filled out all the paperwork and everything. So the WNBA is saying, no, they cannot be a part of this at all. Now, Dan over at Outkick asked the WNBA to explain why they're ineligible. And given that the league's CBA says that only women may play, but does not define what a woman is, and the league did not respond.
They cannot give an answer that does not result in just hellfire and cancellations, just the floodgates opening. They have boxed themselves into a corner.
Sue them.
Yeah, lawsuit time.
Right, and that's what we're going to get to here. So sources around the league say Enes Kanter Freedom and Royce White are not eligible to play in the WNBA, but the league just had some consensus building HR meeting a few weeks ago, didn't reach a consensus, has announced no plans to prevent trans athletes from playing, and many WNBA players say they would welcome biological men to the court. Translation, the WNBA already knows it's going to block them from playing. They just haven't decided under what woke logic they're going to use right here. So Enes Kanter Freedom was actually on Fox News and was asked about this. He was asked about this last night. See what he had to say.
That's the reason that they're scared.
Do you actually think the WNBA, and sources were telling various media outlets today that they've essentially decided you and Royce cannot play in the WNBA. You will not be eligible. And they're going to say something about the it's a publicity stunt. Right. You're not really a trans woman. Are you a trans woman?
Well, I want to make this very clear.
Are you a trans woman?
Listen, Section 13, right? Article 13, Section 1 says if you identify as a woman, then you're allowed to play.
So you are identifying as a woman tonight?
I identify as a woman. Sure, yes. Okay. So I can play.
But they're never going to let you play.
Why not? I mean, that's the rule. That's the rule that they put, and I'm just following the rules. If they ever come out and say, okay, we are changing the rules, I respect their decision. I will, follow the rules. But right now, if you identify as a woman, you're allowed to play. And I am identifying as a woman, and I am actually allowed to play.
Look at this brave woman right here on your screen with her big mustache and goatee.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Just absolutely stunning and brave.
Just the bravery that these women have for stepping up to the plate is really unparalleled. Now, Royce White was the other brave, beautiful black trans woman who was going to compete in the WNBA. But Royce White says, I have not received any official or unofficial communication from the WNBA regarding my eligibility. I will say, as a black trans lesbian, the rumors of denial for my multi-spirit existence are concerning. I'd like to remind everyone there's a trans genocide taking place right now in America. These kinds of casual comments lead to violence and our deaths. If the sources are true, I'd like to see the league take immediate action to correct anyone who refuses to affirm my identity, to use my pronouns. Pay me. The WNBA leadership has to show up and do the work to tell a black trans woman she is not a woman, or that the trans experience is a stunt, is transphobic, bigoted, and racist. It's literally Nazism and white supremacy. I think the commissioner may be demonstrating some white privilege. No? Fucking brilliant.
This is some level 20 wizard spell casting right here. He knew exactly all the spells to cast. He hit them with every single thing that they use against everyone and just shoved it right in their faces.
It is a masterclass in trolling.
Absolutely.
I would say, like, I will meet the WNBA wherever they want, and they can run any test they need to find out that I'm not a woman, as long as we publicly admit whatever that test is. Because it's like, that's what I want. I want to push it now to, okay, how do you define a woman then? What is your testing? I put it back on them now.
Right, 100%.
My one question with the WNBA is that, I mean, we know this. They're trolling. They're trolling. They're
What?
This is sort of an act of vandalism. Let's just
Unbelievable.
Be totally real about that. But I have to wonder if the WNBA is even going to issue a response at all. Like, is there anything in their contracts that says they even have to, give you acceptance or denial at all? They could just stonewall the entire thing and just provide no answer whatsoever.
That is what I guarantee that's what they're hoping to do. They're hoping to bury their head in the sand, not say anything, and just move on. But that has proven not to be a thing here. I think what will happen is Enes Kanter will get banned from going and attending any game like he was at the Chicago game over the weekend. I think he'll get banned for that. And the WNBA will ultimately have to they're going to have to make a decision, but it'll be a private thing. They're not going to publicly say anything about it. And it'll just be a quiet change to the CBA, because the way those collective bargaining agreements work, that's what CBA means. They're collectively bargained between the team owners and the management and the players. So it's a joint contract that they both agree on. That's how you get pay raises and stuff like that. So for that CBA to be modified, both the players union and the people in the league have to get together and have a serious conversation. And everybody has to agree on it, right? The theory right now is that the reason why they won't modify the CBA, or at least address it, is because some people feel like there's already men playing in the league. There's already trans people playing in the league. Because when you look at some of the players, you're like, right? But that's neither here nor there. I'm just throwing out that because that's just a rumor. It is what it is.
It does seem like a giant game of chicken.
Oh, yes. It's spectacular. Now, did you see the hot new video released between the two? Check this out.
What is a woman?
Not those two, I can tell you that much.
Being a woman.
Is not so black and white, and size doesn't matter.
That's our motto.
Okay. What does being a woman mean to you?
Buckets.
Buckets. Apparently us.
There you go. So there's that. Now, Phoenix, you said something earlier. They should sue. They should sue. Well, according to Polymarket, the WNBA has been warned to preserve all records in relation to its decision that former NBA stars aren't eligible to join the league.
Oh, Lordy, they're coming.
Yes.
I think they already know that the lawyers are coming.
Yeah,
Royce
Craig,
White.
I don't know. I don't know how the legal system works. Maybe you know. Let's say hypothetically, I get a group of 50 guys to do this, and I send them in like army ants to get rejected every time, and then that way we can give them 50 lawsuits. Is that something that can be done, or is it just like one lawsuit and you can't have multiple instances of it?
Well, the 50 lawsuits would be a class action, I believe.
Yeah, right? I was about to say, I think that would go to a class action at that point.
It would go to class action, okay.
If it's like...
As opposed to an individual, like you denied me from it, so I'm suing you for since you didn't give me a reason, you judged me based off of some hate crime, let's say.
Well, let's think about this. Let's just say hypothetically there was a class action lawsuit put together from Enes Kanter, from Royce Williams, from Royce White, and he was to put this together. They were to file a class action lawsuit, meaning that anybody could hop into this, right? And they were to sue the WNBA for, who knows, $1 billion, right? You would see every man in America fill out the paperwork to attempt to play for the WNBA to get a piece of that pie right there.
And they know that too.
Oh yes, and that league would be done. That league would be done quickly. Now, Matt Gaetz, who is the lawyer for Mr. White, says the WNBA,
he's bounced back.
Yes, has not notified him or our legal team of any decision of draft eligibility, as is their standard practice and policy. The WNBA should preserve all records in anticipation of litigation. So Phoenix, they are definitely consider suing here. Good. Now, one last little bit here. Sophie Cunningham is where this whole thing started because she said that girls should play with girls. And that became protect trans kids. That became the they-them turtle in Toronto mascot. Well, apparently, this courtesy of, we'll see here. Left-wing media and WNBA sources are now saying Sophie Cunningham might be released by her team at the end of the season. Her future is suddenly in doubt here. Does anyone seriously doubt this isn't become a supporting women's sports? I support Sophie. The WNBA is filled with cowards. If this is true, if she is going to be released, look, you can be released. It's a right to work thing, right? If you aren't performing, then you can be fired, just like most jobs. But I don't know how anybody could look at this and say they're not related. They're not related in this situation. And I think that if she was released and then she wasn't picked up by any other team based off of strictly her stats and her popularity, and like we've seen shit players play in all sorts of leagues that are long past over the hill. I think of Dennis Rodman playing for the Mavericks back in the 90s. Like, Shaquille O'Neal on the Celtics. These are players that are signed for their name and hope that they can be something. Sophie Cunningham is not that. Sophie Cunningham has a name and she's talented. She should not be playing for a team. If she gets released, it could be the best thing that happens to her, because I think what happens is she is approached by some major financier. They launch some sort of women's league or some sort of women's alternative product, and all of a sudden you got yourself a viable WNBA competitor with a clear definition of what a woman is. I mean, who knows?
Even then, if I'm Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham's the only person who keeps me safe on the court. Wherever they go, I'm going with them.
She won't.
Oh, no, she won't, because she doesn't have the spine for it.
Right.
But I think safe to say, at a very minimum, whatever happens to Sophie is she's going to have brand endorsement deals a la what we see with Shaquille O'Neal and people like that, post basketball career. She'll be all right. She's going to be all right.
Well, to be clear, she is a free agent after this year. She signed a 1-year deal with Indiana. So whether she's released or whether she's just not signed, the big thing is, will she be signed by any of the other 20 whatever teams that are in the WNBA? And that's going to be the big telling point, because she is the enforcer for the most popular player in the league, right? Just as like a nice reference, she's the Bill Laimbeer to Isaiah Thomas from back in the 80s, the Detroit Pistons. Her job is to beat the shit out of people and protect the star player.
She's a bruiser.
Yep, she's a bruiser, which you don't see that very often in the traditional NBA now. But all right, there you go. There is a little update on the I'm telling you right now, that's going to be it's going to be an amazing story to watch. And if they get sued, my oh my, that's going to be